It's lovely to see you today. It really is. I hope you're all lined up at the door waiting for today's show. I know I am. I've got quite a show lined up for you today, love. I sure do. Today has a very special theme to me. It's something that I have deep in my heart. I do. Do you know what I have? Do you know what's in there? I'm going to tell you whether you like it or not, darling. I've got the music in me. That's right. I've got a song in my heart. And I'd like to teach the world to sing in perfect harmony. I feel a song coming on, I do. And that's because I believe in music. And to that end, I'll have you know I'm a little bit country and a little bit rock and roll. So let the show begin. Let it.
If you're stuck inside and you need some fun, she's the grande dame of Cagneyton. With Victoria Sautee.
Oh, yes, it's so lovely to have you all here today, my friends. I see you're all jamming in at the door. That's just lovely. There's room enough for everyone here in the glittery bunker there is. And we have a special show. It's sponsored by the letter E. E. Oh, it's just such an easy letter to say, isn't it? E. It's a sound of glee. You say, E. It's the fifth letter of the alphabet, and it is the most used letter of them all. That's right. Well, the sentence I'm saying has more E's in it than you could possibly count by the time I've finished saying it. That's right. E, it's a lovely letter, and it's so useful. Well, my name itself, Sautee, has two E's. Now, I've heard someone out there saying, Victoria, why do you call yourself Sautee? Two E's should be Sautee. Well, I'll tell you why. Because that's the way I do it, lovey. That's just the way I do it. It's true. Now, a word of the day also begins with the letter E, and the word is euphonious. Euphonious. Have you ever heard that word before, lovies? Euphonious. Do you know what it means? It means pleasing to the ear. Euphonious. It's sweet sounding. Well, my voice is euphonious. Hello there, Shelley. Thanks for joining us today. Shelley's voice is most likely euphonious. I'll also use it in a sentence for you. The doorbell has a euphonious chime. And that means it's nice when the doorbell rings. Or she loved to hear her children's euphonious laughter. That's right, that mom just loved the sound of her child's laughter, and her laughter of the children was indeed euphonious. Could you use the word euphonious in a sentence? Shelley, what do you think out there? Do you have anything that's in your house that's euphonious? Could you say, now stop being so euphonious out there. It's too sweet for its own good. Well, euphonious, we generally use that word when we think about music. And I think about music all the time. I do. Music it's fun. It's exciting. It's happy. It could be relaxing music, it's powerful and soothing. It's joyous. Well, music is what feelings sound like. That's right. And to demonstrate a little bit about the power of music and all that it has with it, I have a very special guest today. It's my good friend, Tammy. And here she is. Let's bring her in the studio. There you are. Hey! Darling, how are you today?
I'm great, Victoria. How are you doing?
I'm just wonderful. Thank you for joining me on the show to talk about music today.
Music's my favorite thing. Thank you for the invitation.
Oh, that's wonderful. Now, I see you have a little sign behind you that says Tammy Time.
Tammy Time.
Can you tell us about Tammy Time?
Tammy Time is my favorite time. Tammy Time is when I invite friends and students and anyone around to come stand around the piano and sing and use their voices all together.
No, let me just back up there a moment, Tammy. You have students?
I do have students. I've been a teacher for a long time, and I've taught a lot of different places. Right now, I'm in Florida. I'm in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, and I teach at the Broward Center for the Performing Arts. I have a lot of great students there.
So you teach children and young people?
I teach all ages. My youngest students are usually around 7, and they go all the way up to 84.
Oh my goodness, what an old child that one is.
They are very old, but they're a good singer.
That's right. It doesn't matter what age, as long as you have the desire to sing.
That's it. Make a joyful noise.
And how long have you been working with young people of all ages?
I started out as a high school choir teacher way back in 1990. And then I moved to New York City, and I lived in New York for 20 years, and I taught in all 5 boroughs of New York. And then I would go upstate every summer to Cortland, where I met my good buddies, Bert and Jimmy, and worked at the Cortland Repertory Theater every summer for about 12 years, teaching children all summer long.
Isn't that wonderful? You're doing the work of the gods, you are, Tammy. You really are. So tell me, what kind of music do you like? What's your favorite kind? There's so many, isn't there?
There's so many, but I got to tell you, Victoria, my favorite kind of music is Broadway show tunes.
Oh, razzmatazz. I love it. Yes. Do you have a favorite show that you like to play or that you like to see?
It's hard to pick a favorite one, but Wicked is one of my top 5.
Oh, with the witch.
With the witch, the good witch and the bad witch.
That's right.
And I love Crazy for You, all those old George Gershwin tunes.
Oh.
So, and then I like some of the newer musicals like Mean Girls. So I like all sorts of Broadway shows.
Well, that's just wonderful. And are you going to play something for us today? Oh, please tell me you will, darling.
I will. I would love to invite everybody out there watching to sing along with me.
Let's do it, shall we? Let's all join Tammy in a song.
All right. So I talked about Crazy for You and that George Gershwin. So I thought we would do a very, very, very popular George Gershwin song called I Got Rhythm.
Take it away.
All right. Here we go. 5, 6, 7, and I got rhythm. I got music. I got my man who could ask for anything more. I got daisies in green pastures. I got my man who could ask for anything more. Old man trouble, I find him. You won't find him round my door. I got starlight, I got sweet dreams. I got my man who could ask for anything more. Who could ask for anything more? Woo!
It's just wonderful. What a wonderful song that is.
Thank you. I love this one. It cheers me up. This is a fun, peppy song.
It is. Well, I'm cheered already. Do you have anything else for us?
Well, I thought maybe a fun song to sing would be Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
Oh, yes, from Mary Poppins.
From Mary Poppins. You remind me of Mary Poppins. I thought this would be a good song to sing.
You know, I'm practically perfect in every way.
I know you are. I love it. All right. This is a big word. Let's all sing together. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. Even though the sound of it is something quite atrocious. If you say it loud enough, you'll always sound precocious. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. That's my favorite part. Because I was afraid to speak when I was just a lad. Me father gave me nose a tweak and told me I was bad. But then one day I heard a word that saved me aching nose. The biggest word you've ever heard, and this is how it goes. Oh, supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. Even though the sound of it is something quite atrocious. If you say it loud enough, you'll always sound precocious. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
Oh, that was wonderful. Thank you, Tammy. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you.
Well, thank you so much for coming on our little program today. It's just wonderful to have you.
It was my pleasure. Thank you so much for having me.
If my friends would like to find Tammy Time, where would they find that?
So I do a live broadcast every Friday night at 8 o'clock.
Write that down.
Friday nights at 8 o'clock on my personal Facebook page, Tammy Holder on Facebook. And I also do some sing-alongs with the Broward Center. So you can check out Broward Center Education on Facebook. And I do a sing-along on Thursdays at 3:30. So we've got a lot of Tammy time out there. So I would invite all of your viewers to come join me if they'd like to sing some more.
I'm sure they would. Thank you very much, Tammy. It was lovely to see you.
Yay!
Oh, lucky too.
It was nice to see you. Bye.
Yeah, goodbye now. Goodbye, love.
Bye.
Oh, she's still there. There she goes. There she is. Oh, Tammy's a dear, isn't she? Oh, I just love music. I love it so much. I've been put in the best mood. Now, you know, if you're a musician, if you play an instrument, or if you sing, or if you love to sing, perhaps your goal is the epitome of what everyone who's in the music business wants to do. They all want to go to Carnegie Hall. Have you ever heard of Carnegie Hall? Well, it's in New York City. It looks like this. It's a very large building. It was built in 1891 by a gentleman coincidentally named Andrew Carnegie. That's right. It is the most prestigious music hall in the whole world. Look what it looks like there. Yes, just look at the inside of that. It's just fascinating. It's 5 levels of seating. There's 2,804 seats in there. Here, can you count them? Can you count them? Yes, you probably can't. But inside the Carnegie Hall, there's orchestras and symphonies. There's piano players and string players. There's pop musicians. One time I saw Liza Minnelli in Carnegie Hall. I did. I went all the way there just to see her. I did. And at the end of the show, I waited by the stage door to see if she'd come out. And she did. She came right out and she looked right into my eyes and she jumped in her car and drove off. I'll always take that as a win-win. I will. That's what I do. No, do you know how to get to Carnegie Hall, my dear? I'll tell you how to get there. Practice. Practice will get you to Carnegie Hall. In the meantime, tell your mom and dad next time you're in the big city in New York, say, Mom, take me to Carnegie Hall. I want to see what it looks like in there. They've got a lovely program for young people called the National Youth Orchestra. Maybe you could be a part of that one day. They also have the Future Music Project for young people. That's right. That's wonderful. Well, it's so nice that you're all here to watch. We have another guest coming up who's going to talk a little bit more about music. Now, we've learned about the piano and we've learned about from Tammy, but now we're going to learn about something a little more percussive. Let's bring back into the studio one of our great friends, Mr. Dazzle. Mr. Dazzle, where are you?
Oh. Hello. Hi. How are you, Victoria?
I'm really well. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing great. Oh, there we are. Look at me. Wow, so much sparkle. Hi, everybody.
Mr. Dazzle, what are you going to talk about today? Something musical, I know.
Yes. So my favorite family of instruments is the percussion family. It's the biggest family of instruments. You know, there's strings, there's horns, there's woodwinds. But percussion is all the stuff that you shake and you hit and the drum sets, basically. All the drums in the world are part of the percussion family. So I decided I was going to tell you about one of my favorite strange instruments from around the world. It is called the cuica.
The cuica?
The cuica, yes.
How do you spell that? Like
this? Correctly, apparently. So the cuica actually comes from Africa. It was an instrument that was made, it's a large round cylinder, and then it has a stick in it. And you pull the stick, and the vibration makes the drum shake. And originally, it sounded like a lion's roar. So they call it the lion drum.
Are you talking about an instrument that looks sort of like this?
Yes, something like that. You can't see, but there is a stick inside of it. And what happened is Portugal came and visited Africa, and they loved the cuica so much. Of course, it wasn't called the cuica, it was the lion drum. But they took it and called it the cuica, which is the Portuguese word for a gray four-eyed possum. Because the possum has a call that's very high-pitched and squeaky. And so they would make small versions of the lion drum that were very squeaky. And so they called it the cuica after the possum. So they brought them over to South America, and it became very popular in Brazil. and actually is used a lot in Portuguese music, the samba particularly. So what I did is I made my own homemade cuica.
See, Jeriel loves a cuica.
Well, I love Jeriel. Hello. I made a homemade cuica out of an old can. I wrapped it in some yarn so it looks very festive.
Mr. Dazzle, did you get that can out of Mommy's cupboard?
I did. It used to have tomatoes in it, and now it is a cuica.
That's just ingenious of you, Mr. Dazzle.
Yes. So all you need to do to make a cuica is, well, you need an adult, first of all, but you need an old empty can. So the bottom is cut out. And I have a chopstick here, although you can use a bamboo skewer. Any sort of thin wooden piece will work as long as it's not smooth. And then you punch a hole in the top and stick it through. And what you have to do to play the cuica is you take a damp cloth. Oh. So this is a cloth I had. I wet it under the sink. Place it around the stick of the cuica, and you get the sound. That's our possum drum.
A possum drum. And did they actually use cuicas in orchestras and bands?
Oh, absolutely. And anywhere that you have to play a samba, any sort of South American music, you'll find cuicas. You'll find maracas, which I know we learned about before. Yeah. All sorts of different things. They have sticks called claves that they beat together, and they make lovely ticking noises, and it cuts through the whole orchestra, gives them a lot of rhythm. South American music is all about rhythm.
So what I need is a can and a stick and a wet cloth.
Yep. And just a little tape for the end. I used my mustache tape, but you can use any tape you like.
Well, why don't you send us out, love, with another cuica concert?
Absolutely. How about I made a tiny cuica if you'd like.
Oh, look at that!
That's tiny cuica.
Young ones. It's delightful. Oh, I could watch you cuica all night, I could.
It's a lot of fun.
It is. Well, thank you, Mr. Dazzle, for that ingenious musical lesson.
Oh, you're so welcome. Thanks for having me.
Please come back again sometime.
Bye.
Bye. Goodbye. How do I get him out of there? There he goes. We're kicking him out. There we go. Mr. Dazzle is kicked out of the studio. Now, my friends, I have something lovely for you next. We are going to do a game. It's sort of a way of telling a story, only it's a little different. I know how you all have fun with Dick and Jane, but today we're playing something that I want you all to participate in. I'm going to be watching the reader because I'm going to need your answers. We're going to be playing fun with blank and blank. That's right, fun with blank and blank. Okay, so what I'm going to need is sort of works like Mad Libs. Think of these as sort of like Mad Libs. Yes, of course. Now I'm going to need someone to give me a day of the week. Do I have anybody out there who can send me a day of the week and I'll fill that in my first blank? Who's got this out there? I know one of you lovely people must be listening. Jeriel, do you have a day of the week out there that you'd like me to place here? Well, I'm going to fill it in myself. Oh, here we go. Maria has entered Monday. So we're going to put Monday in there. Thank you, Maria. Now what I need is a noun. Can anyone give me a noun? A noun is a person, place, or a thing. I got 2 Mondays. Now who's got my noun? Yes, we are. You are the noun. Who's got a noun for me? Someone, love. Well, a unicorn. We have our first noun, a unicorn. Thank you, Mary, for giving us unicorn. We're going to need an adjective. An adjective, something that describes something. I've got another noun, and I'm going to fill that into my next. Thank you, Emma, for the bowling ball for my next noun. I need an adjective, and I need a color. That's right. I need an adjective and a color. And I understand there's a slight delay. Wonky is the adjective. Thank you. Now, who's got a color? I'm going to use, does anyone have a color? I have another adjective, and I'll use Mary's sickly on another adjective. Let me find where that one goes. I've got that. And red, I have the color red. I need 2 verbs. I need 2 verbs and a food. 2 verbs and a food. I'm going to use mauve in my next color space. That's right. Chartreuse. All right. Do that idea. Do I have another color here? Do I have a food? A wiggle? That's a great verb. Do I have another verb? Spam is the food. Thank you. Thank you, Jeriel, for the spam. And a spinning. I have spinning. Yes, this is so much fun. Wait till you hear the story. I need a liquid. I need a liquid. A dabbing. Okay. I've got dabbed. Thank you. Crawl. Thank you for crawl. I fill that in. Whirling. Do I have a liquid? Soda. There's my liquid. Thank you, Maria, for the soda. Do I have a room in the house? Like what? Give me a room in the house. I'm going to use olive oil, Justin, as one of my next nouns. That's right. And I'll use chocolate milk for another noun. Thank you. I'm still waiting for a room. Does anyone have a room in the house or a number in the bedroom? I've got the bedroom. Beautiful. And a number. An exclamation or a number? The conservatory. Oh, Emma's very fancy out there, isn't she? The conservatory. 23 is the number. Very good. Thank you. An exclamation. And an exclamation, a verb, and a piece of furniture. Sassafras. Oh, my goodness. Tally-ho is the exclamation. Thank you for that. Do I have some furniture? A noun. We're almost there, friends. It's going to be quite a story. A noun of the ottoman. Oh, tumble. I've got tumbled in there. Bathtub. I'm using the bathtub, Mary, for one of my nouns. Murphy bed. I'm going to use the ottoman as a noun. I need another verb. And so 275. Let's see. Do I have an emotion? Does anyone out there, could anyone give me an emotion or a household chore? Thank you for the 275, Mary. Yes, I've got that one. The Murphy bed, the twirl. What else do we have here, loves? It's almost time to do the show. Washing the dog. Yes, very good, Justin. I need one emotion. Sautee. What a lovely word that is, Jeriel. Jeriel, use my name as a verb. I just need an emotion. Who's got an emotion out there? Making it quicker. Euphoria. I will use euphoria, or elated. Elated, that's good. Elated is absolutely perfect. And I have our first story. Thank you very much for participating. Our story is called Jane Gets Punished. That's right, Jane gets punished. That's what she gets for being her. I'm going to read it to you. It's all filled in here. Jane Gets Punished. It was a Monday night when Jane picked up a unicorn and broke Mother's wonky red bowling ball. Jane spent the day wibbling and spinning, and by lunchtime she refused to eat her Spam or drink her soda. So Mother sent her to the bedroom where she dabbed till 23 o'clock. Well, that's what she gets, that Jane. Dick knocked on Jane's olive oil, but Jane said, "Tally-ho!" How dare she? And Dick began to crawl. At dinner time, Jane refused to twirl or whirl. Finally, Father opened up the ottoman and Jane tumbled down the stairs, right onto Mother's favorite Murphy bed. Dick hid behind the chocolate milk. Sally cried till she turned mauve. Mother was not elated with Jane. To punish her, she made Jane wash the dog for 275 weeks. Later, Jane told Mother she was sorry and gave her a bathtub on the cheek. Our first little story. Thank you, loves, for tuning into our insane musical episode today. Thanks to Miss Tammy and Tammy Time and Mr. Dazzle and his quirker. And I want you to do me a favor, lover. I want you to be good this week. I want you to wash your hands and be kind to your friends. Stay inside and just be lovely to each other. And of course, as always, I ask you to sing and enjoy the music, loves. Now, if you enjoyed today's episode, well, then I want you to, I'd like you to consider going over to Pantachino.com and making a donation so that our shows can keep on coming and I can have more of these lovely little frocks to wear and to entertain you. Thank you, love. Have a lovely time. I'll see you on Thursday.
If you're stuck inside and you need some fun, she's the grande dame of Cagneton. With Victoria Sautee.
Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye. Goodbye. I can't turn this thing off. I never can.